Welcome back everybody. Today I'm back on Saddlebags Exchange because I want to show you another tool they have to help with making gil. It's a crafting profit simulator, also known as a Craftsim. This tool is inspired by the popular WoW mod, but this won't require the use of any illegal mods. The price information is pulled straight from the Universalis database, making it a great tool to find items that will sell well on your server. As you can see, there's multiple saved presets already available, going from new Dawn Trail crafts, 2 different foods, a Glamour furniture, your best gear, expert crafts that require pentameld, as well as a generic lump everything together default search. Let's start with the default search. We'll go over all the filters for finding something to craft. The Disciples of a Hand allows you to choose which job you are looking to craft with. It is automatically set for OmniCrafter. You can easily change this by just unchecking Omni and selecting whichever jobs you want. The item filters allows you to customize your search even further than the original preset. Default is set up to search through everything excluding crafting gear. The cost metric will search for prices according to 3 different ways. Regional median sale price will estimate crafting ingredient cost based on the regional median price of each ingredient needed. This is typically the most common price found at the realistic metric to use if you are shopping on multiple servers for the best price in your region. The regional average price will estimate crafting ingredient cost based on the regional average sale price of each ingredient needed. This is a more pessimistic and higher cost as it takes into account lazy sales that happen when people buy materials for the higher price on their local market because they're too lazy to switch servers. The regional minimum listing price will estimate crafting ingredient costs based on the current regional minimum listing price each ingredient needed. This is often lower than what you may find as a single listing posted because it's like a stack of 99 instead of just 1 or 2, and they put it really cheap hoping it will sell. And so this throws out the prices of your items sometimes. So I generally just leave this set to regional median price. For revenue metric, you can set it for home minimum or regional minimum, median, or average. I'm most interested in my server's minimum price, but you'll have a higher chance to sell your items quicker if you price your items for the lowest on your entire data center because people will travel to your server to buy it off you. The downside is you lose out on the chance for higher profits. I personally am not in a rush to sell items super fast and would try for the highest possible profits by just focusing on my own home server's prices. The sales per week is generically set at 50. This is to help you avoid crafting items that appear as huge profits but hardly ever sell. You can raise or lower this number to narrow or expand your searches. The median sale price will only show items that are selling for the displayed amount or more. It's currently set for 70,000. I think that's a good set. Max material cost is how much you are willing to invest to craft an item. Set this number to whatever is comfortable for you. If 100,000 gil is too much money to invest, don't be afraid to lower this cost. For me, I bumped this up to 100 million. Not because I intend to spend that much, I just want to see the entire list of items I can make. The minimum recipe stars allows you to change the difficulty of the recipes. I just don't touch this, I leave it alone. The lower level limit will set items to only show over a certain level. -1 means it's showing everything. For example, if you only want items level 70 or above, you would set it to 70 and it would only show 70 and plus. Upper level limit is the opposite. You can set this to only show items below a certain level. This is a great way to make money while leveling a crafter because you can set it to your current level or lower and just level off of crafts that you can profit off of. The yields per recipe is basically for foods and potions. It will show items that will give you equal to or more than the set number per craft. Since food and potions yield 3 per craft, you can set this for 3 and it will only show those items. At -1, it shows everything. And it's automatically set to hide expert recipes, but you can uncheck this if you want to see those as well. For the purpose of this video, I'm going to leave it checked. Click on search. It now shows a list of items that I can make gil by crafting and selling. The main columns we're most interested in are profit estimate per craft, revenue home or region, minimum listing, cost estimate median, and sales per week. As it appears, Titania Shadow Box would be my biggest profit on my server, but this item has a few red flags. First is the price difference between my region and my home server. My home server is currently double. The other red flag is the sales per week are only 63, meaning it will sit for a while, especially at double the price of my data center's average. By clicking the item data, I can get an even clearer review of how this item sells on my server. You see the actual median price in the US is $760,000. A lot of them were sold below this price, and in the last week, none were sold on my server. With 7 listings continuously competing with each other to be the lowest price, looking at this data, I would most likely sit on this item for a very long time before finally selling it, so I'm gonna pass. To find a good item to craft, I want to arrange all the items by showing the highest number of sales in the past week. Of course, the highest sellers are currently the crafted combat gear. You can make a lot of money by crafting and selling these items. The problem is they have a lot of competition and you'll be underbid constantly. So unless you want to sit in front of your retainer constantly checking to make sure you are the lowest price, I skip these items. So heading down the list, first item that comes up is the new Scientist Code Glamour item. It uses the egg found in the new treasure maps, but otherwise it's a fairly nice choice. It has sold almost 1,000 copies in the past week, and it doesn't require to be high quality because no one cares about an item's quality for claims. We can get even more info by clicking item data. Most codes are sold between 175 and 200,000 each. 17 were sold on my server alone. That's just over 2 a day. Here's a better breakdown of the sales over the past week. It currently has a few posted on my server at this price, but it has such a high sell rate that it should sell within a few days if I check my listings 2 or 3 times a day. Cost is low enough that I think I'll give it a try. Now, I need to buy all the materials. To be honest, the best way to make the most profits is to collect all the non-rare materials yourself. But if you're lazy, I'll show you the best way to make as much profit as you can without leaving town. By clicking on the notebook symbol next to the name, it will save the items to your notebook. Now, I'm going to show you how to use the shopping list generator. By putting your craft item name into the generator and choosing how many you want to make, only one, it will give you a shopping list for your recipes. The generator can hold up to 10 recipes at a time. It will show the lowest price per material. The problem is, some items the lowest price will be for a stack of 99, like it is here with the Thunder Silk. When this happens, it's best to switch over to Universalis to see the best value per stack. I'll now go hop around the servers on my data center and buy all the items I need. The only materials the shopping list does not show are the elemental pieces, because that was messing up the cost per item versus profits due to the elemental pieces tending to be sold in stacks of 1,000 to 9,999. So the owner of the site removed them, though most of us have a lot of saved up and only buy or farm them once in a great while. Okay, I just finished buying all the ingredients and poured it back to my house to craft a coat. I forgot to mention it, but a few weeks ago, I was lucky enough to be the winner of a medium-sized house here in Shirogane, and I've been spending a good amount of my time and gil decorating and then redecorating it. One day I'll be done. Anyways, I have all the mats I need. I ended up buying 3 eggs because they were fairly low priced, and if this coat sells quickly, I will have the rare item ready to make another one. Once again, this coat doesn't need to be high quality, so I'm just going to spam complete it without any proper rotations. If you want to be on the safe side, you can always look up a macro rotation on TeamCraft. I'll leave a link in the description. It wasn't a pretty craft rotation, but I was able to complete the Scientist coat. Now I'm going to put it up for sale on one of my retainers for 1 gil less than everyone else, and only check my listings 2 to 3 times a day until it sells. Next, let's take a closer look at the Best Gear craft list. Set the price per item to 100 million, and as you can see, the profit margin for these items is still pretty high. The downside is that it is a very congested market to get into. You'll need to pen out all your gear and weapons in order to reliably make them high quality. You'll constantly be fighting with everyone else for the lowest price. It tends to feel like a full-time job. Hence, I just steer clear of this market. But if this sounds like fun to you, by all means go for it. Just be prepared to spend all your time checking your prices. Leaving this preset, the next preset I want to look at is Glamour Furniture. Same as before, I just changed the cost to max out at 100 million. The best item on this list is the Eastern Indoor Pole. They are currently selling for almost 700,000 on my server. The downside is it requires a lotus leaf, which tends to sell for about 300,000 gil. A lot of people use these pools when decorating their houses though, but I want to pick something that is a little more cost efficient to make for this video. So I'm looking at the Electro Parting. There was over 600 sold last week, and I have the potential to make a profit of 186,000 gil. Clipboard the name and place it on the shopping list. As you can see, it requires a rare resilient armor from the Extreme 2 trial. The resilient armors are selling for about 80,000 gil right now. Otherwise, there's almost no cost for this craft. I'm going to server hop, buy all the mats, and I'll meet you back here at the house. Okay, I have all the materials and I'm ready to make the party. There's just one problem. This recipe requires me to be specialized in armor. Luckily, I've never bothered to specialize in any crafting job, so I need to head over to Mordona and accept a blue quest, Beloved of the Builder from Lighter Lona. This is a quick quest and unlocks specializing for up to 3 crafting jobs. You can change a specialist up to 3 times a week, so I just head to Ishgard and turn in the quest and become a specialist on my armor. Now I'm ready to make the barding. Once I add the specialist jobstone, that is, bardings don't require high quality, so again, I'm just crafting this item as easily as possible without a proper rotation. And done. I'll place this up on my retainer for 1 gil less than my competition and check it 2 to 3 times a day. The last section I want to look at today is the food items. This will show what food and potions are currently selling the best for on your server. It amazes me that the lower level food like veggie soup is selling better than the best food. Even the grade A tinctures of strength are selling better than the new ones. In fact, they're selling so good and the mats are almost free, and I'm going to focus on making them for profit. So I add the strength tincture to my shopping list. As you can see, everything is fairly cheap. I'm going to buy enough to make 2 full stacks. For this craft, I'll need to make them high quality to get the best profits. Since this is a level 90 recipe, I could always cast Trained Eye and then spam complete to finish, but I'm currently looking at 73 crafts to complete. I would much rather make a macro and just press 1 or 2 buttons per craft. So I head over to Teamcraft. My stats are already saved, so all I need to do is find a crafting rotation. Into the recipe name, click the check mark, apply my saved stats, find a rotation. I click the first one because it's a 100% success rate. Click on the XIV to receive a macro. Sadly, the macro is 2 buttons long, but I copy pasta them onto my yellow macros. I then tried to complete this without using food, but I went before the macro was completed. Luckily, I was able to salvage the craft, but I'll need to use food for the rest of them. This will take me a bit to complete, so I'll be back once I finish.
2 hours later.
Okay, I just finished making 219 strength tinctures. I now need to put them up for sale, but first I need to check the item data to see what stack size people prefer to buy. According to this data, most people tend to buy them in stacks of 99, so I'll put them up for 2 stacks of 99 and put up a 3rd stack with the remainder. So as you can see, this Craftsim tool has a ton of ways to make a lot of gil. This simulator is always updating, so it'll always give you a fresh list of which crafts are best for your server at any given time. If you have any questions, feel free to throw them in the comments. I'll do my best to answer them, or hopefully someone else will be able to answer them if I can't. Thank you so much for watching this video. I know this video is a bit longer than what I usually make, but there was a lot of information I wanted to cover. I really appreciate you sticking with it. I would love it if you liked the video and consider subscribing. That would help me out a lot. Have a great rest of your day. Bye.